Hey, Sparky.
Tell everyone to turn their locator
Belts on. Anybody sees anything?
I'll say Marco.
Polo.
Are you sure about this?
on a scale of 1 to 10, 2.
Don't worry, Boy Scout. She'll take care of you.
She's a tough one.
Hey, come on.
Ask your buddy how far this thing goes.
How you doing up there, Yvonne? Would you mind holding this guy for a while? He is so negative.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
What the hell is that?
Something big. Live, come with me.
No. Stay put! Stop! You listen to me. Listen to me! I'm in charge. We're gonna go back. You can take that door apart.
Whatever it is, it's coming for us. Now we gotta move forward. Right, let's go.
Stay put! And you! I am not afraid of you! I'm in charge! We go back!
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trip on Multiverse with your host, the Lobster, Kyle Charles.
The red baby with the big right arm from the fiery pits of hell that the Nazis summoned to destroy the Allies, CY Chung. Bit of a mouthful, that one.
Yeah, well, probably one of the most normal things about this whole franchise I'm going to speak about. Anyway. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the Hellboy movie franchise, which includes Hellboy 2004, Hellboy Golden Circle.
Golden Army, right?
That's it. Where I get Golden Circle from, don't know why.
The Kingsman.
That's it. 2008 and Hellboy 2019.
Yeah. So the first two Hellboys directed by Mr. Del Toro.
Yeah.
Who directed Blade 2.
Yeah.
And Hellboy 2019 directed by Neil Marshall, which is something. That's all I gotta say about. Well, no, there's more we're gonna say about it, but at this moment, that's all I can say.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do like the style. The visuals of Hellboy: The Golden Army look really good, actually.
Yeah.
I like it's the style of Guillermo del Toro's. You know the other stuff, the kind of more adult-oriented fairy tale stuff.
Yeah.
If you mean.
It's like dark fairy tale sort of stuff.
Yeah, grim fairy tale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I like the look of it. It's kind of like, it's like, okay, a Hellboy in my universe, my director stamp on it. Which not to be like, I'm gonna throw my weight about director stamp on it, but it's just like, I'll tie in some visual appeal from my typical stuff to this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot.
Works.
Yeah. I think he had a decent amount of creative power to do that. Yeah. And
also, one thing I'll say about those Hellboy films, because a lot of it's practical effects, it kind of still holds up. Yeah. Because they don't rely too much on the CGI, so it kind of holds up. You watch it now and go, that still looks good.
I'd say I like Ron Perlman's cranky Hellboy.
Yeah.
I like in the Hellboy 1 as well, where that guy's hitting on Liz, Selma Blair, and the Hellboy's like, no, and he's just throwing rocks at the guy from the when they're on the bench, and he does the yawn to put his arms around Selma Blair, and then the Hellboy's just throwing rocks at him out of nowhere, like,
Kid. Wow,
yeah.
Why didn't you just tell her? Yeah, that kid was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because it's just like, oh, random. I want to say, see, first Hellboy, I think it was more slower pace.
Yeah.
It's like they had Rasputin to do his thing, and then for the first part of the movie, and then it disappeared. He disappeared for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he came back the last half an hour movie or something. There's a big chunk of middle where they're kind of just doing character stuff.
Yeah.
Which is fine because it never felt slow. Like, oh yeah, where's the villain and stuff like that, you know. But when I think about it, it's like he's only at the beginning and the end, really ish.
Yeah. He really is, which is kind of good because he kind of flushes out the world, like you said.
Yeah.
Rather than we're going to focus on villain who ends up dying anyway. We're going to focus on him so much.
Yeah. But it's not even that. It's just like it never felt like okay, well, we're just going to stop this bit of the story, put this bit of the story in here, and then continue to wrap back out around that.
Yeah.
And number 2 was pretty good as well. Like that, it was well paced. It just kept on moving forward.
Yeah, I love number 2.
Yeah, I like obviously that Hellboy after he got drunk with Abe Sapien, and he had that fight as well beforehand, and then Luke Goss comes and just beats him up. Prince Nebula. No. I was gonna say Prince Nana from Ring of Honor.
Oh yeah. Oh, frick, I've forgotten his name.
Yeah, Nuha.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I think it's.
And he beats him up. I was like, all right, fair enough. You get your heel to get some heat, and your hero's incapacitated to a degree. So obviously this fight's going to be going only one way. But it's like, oh, fair enough. He got beat, and he got kind of, he got put down. Obviously, you wait for him to make his Vin Diesel comeback, right?
Yeah.
But he never does in that fight.
No.
But then he gets the second fight, and you're like, he's still, even at peak performance, he's still having trouble. They never make Luke Goss look like a bad villain.
No.
Like, I mean, he's bad. He's a villain, but they make him look like pathetic.
No.
And then obviously, because him and his sister are connected, if the prince gets hurt, his twin sister, the princess, also gets hurt. So Hellboy had to work around that as well. But it's not as if he could just grab him and punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Because his fighting style was like gymnastic style.
Yeah.
And Hellboy's like a brute.
Yeah, so it's like no way he could have got around actually.
I like them fighting at the cogs at the end as well. I did enjoy how the Golden Army got beat up by Hellboy and the gas man. I forgot his name. Dr.
Klaus?
Yeah. He uses gas to possess one of them.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that character.
Yeah. And then they're like, taking part of the Golden Army, and then they take a breather, and then the Golden Army's mechanics start putting themselves back together. And they're like, oh no.
Yeah. You're like, oh no, it's gonna.
And then
nothing.
Yeah, and then Luke Goss is like, he was like, I'm royalty. I challenge for the throne. Sort of, and he kills his own dad for it, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, Dad, I never wanted to kill you for it, but Prince got a prince. You know what I mean? Prince got to be king.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
Not selfish at all.
No, but yeah. He was like, the logic is, I'll kill you because you as a king are not doing as much as I could as a king, right?
Yeah.
But I'm sad to kill you for it. Even though it's like, well, okay, you know, ... I'm not sure about the logic here.
There's no logic.
But then it's like, okay, so Hellboy then challenges the guy for the crown, right?
Yeah.
To be king. And I think there's a massive logic loophole there because not inconsistent with the franchise, just be like, so you know when you can only challenge the Black Panther in Black Panther's movie if you are
of royal bloodline or whatever, innit?
Something like that. But then I'm like, the leader of your own tribe? Because I don't know how Black Panther's dad must have really got around if Umaku could challenge
No, I think Umaku is like is royal family of that tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then how big? I mean, okay, man, what kind of must be kind of big then? If you have multiple kings of, I don't know. They say royalty.
I want to say kings. I'll say, what was it like?
They did say royalty. To be fair, royal blood. Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that.
Here is like you have to challenge if you're royalty as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't like you don't have the royal bloodline or anything. You could just be royalty from somewhere else in another world and another like dimension and challenge it, apparently, because Hellboy's like, yo, yeah, you got to cut this stuff out because I challenge you for as royalty. I challenge you, and it's like, right, so hell, where you come from?
Yeah.
And you are the son of the fallen, right? That's fair enough. But okay, so you're carrying your title from another dimension to challenge me here in this dimension, and we're both not even actually from Earth. Well, we're kind of from Earth, but not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, well, that's a great loophole right there.
Yeah.
Right? Someone needs to get lawyers to look at their
Credentials,
challenge.
isn't it? Like,
yeah.
we'll get into like blood tests and stuff, like to see the ancestors actually see if it's true.
Exactly. The principal could have been like, wait a minute. I'm about to invade, yeah? How about you get you get your blood test or your paperwork tonight and then come and challenge me.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm just gonna start this invasion right here. He could throw it back and say, yeah, like, well, once I confirm your royalty,
then we can talk again.
Yeah, exactly. But at this point, I'm already going to charge in there because I'm like, no, I've only got 2-3 days to start my invasion. Yeah. I did like Abe Sapien as well. So his voice was David Hyde Pierce
in the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was listening to it and I was like, oh, you know what? It really does sound like because I mean, I don't know if you watch Frasier like I
I watch Frasier. Yeah.
He really does. Like you can tell from the voice, obviously, and like it's him because it's kind of distinctive the way he does stuff.
Yeah.
But then it's like if I didn't know that Doug Jones just did the voice of number 2, I would have thought it was Doug Jones.
Yeah. Because I know there's an interesting fact about that. Because I know David Hyde Pierce doesn't get credited for Abe's voice in the first film.
Yeah. I think he refused. He said no. Well, because it's like, well, you got Doug Jones there, and I'm just gonna if my voice is credited, it's gonna overshadow his performance.
Yeah.
But then it's like technically as well, you didn't need me to do it. You hired me just for the name value.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Well, I think it was a weird studio thing as well. That's why he did it.
Yeah.
It wasn't Tortero's decision.
To be fair, they sound very similar though.
Yeah, they do.
So. Yeah, I don't know. Well, the thing is as well, you can't even tell with Abe Sapien because it's CG whether that was the dubbing or not. No CG, you know, I mean like the mouth, the face.
Yeah, it's sort of robotic.
Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah, I did like how basically Hellboy's meant to be stealth, but he's like, nah, it's just start snapping pictures and whatnot. My number 2 is like, no, there's no Hellboy, and then he comes flying out of the building.
Yeah, that's why I like the number 2. He was like, you know what, screw it, I don't care. I don't care anymore. So he purposely got blown out of that building, isn't it? So you can go.
Because Liz was like, yeah, you should all start hiding away.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he's got these things munched on him. He's like, you know what? It's a pretty good looking window right there. Yeah. What did you think of the reboot?
Okay, I watched it briefly, like not even the whole film. I think the end.
Yeah.
In like 2019, 2020. I think it might be when I was on a plane going to LA. So I saw the end of that. Okay. So I finally watched it.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say it didn't catch my attention, and I don't really know what was going on because I kept kind of falling out of being interested of it.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I mean, like David Harbour, I think he's fine as Hellboy, right?
Yeah.
But this film is so choppy. I don't mean specifically editing. It's just like why the characters do things and how they do things and why they appear here and there. It's just like what's the through line? What's give me some stability.
Yeah, because like the other films, there's like a constant thread going through the whole film. This to me felt like so many different things going on at once, and then sort of not having any payoff. Yeah.
Except for Mila Jovovich deciding that she's going to, try to take over the world and seduce the Hellboy into being her minion.
Being her king?
Yeah, whatever she was, right? And usually, after watching the Resident Evil films, I'm like, this woman, right? Just more like how she's been Diesel level of invincible through the Resident Evil films as original character as well, no less.
Yeah.
and she's overshadowing the actual cast. So I was like, yeah. But then I was like, you know what? Actually, she ain't bad here because she doesn't get to. She doesn't get beat up people that are far above her weight class in actuality. You know, I know like you're gonna say super soldier, whatever, right? But she's not built like one.
Yeah,
right?
you don't need to be if you got some weird serum in you.
Yeah, exactly. That. Well, I don't think if she was a lean build or something like that, maybe. But it just kind of in Resident Evil, yeah. But then when you're beating up a nemesis, yeah, I'm like, all right, okay.
No, like my thing with Resident Evil, because I love those films because they're so just ridiculous.
Yeah.
As soon as you've got like zombies and genetically modified stuff, all human physical logic goes out the window.
Fair enough.
It's like, oh, okay. Oh, she should look like a weightlifter because of blah blah blah. But
no, not necessarily that. I'm just saying. I'm saying, I don't doing the stuff that she. I mean, she doesn't have to look like she has to look like she's capable of doing the stuff that she's doing. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, she does though.
Oh, yeah, okay, wow. In Hellboy or in Resident Evil?
Oh, Resident Evil. Hellboy, she doesn't need to look anything because she's just a witch. So witches don't need to have any like physique to them. So, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I just, like I said, it's the reverse horror film Vin Diesel effect, where like in Dominic Toretto, where he's basically the Jason Voorhees of the series.
Yeah.
Just happened to be on that side, and same for Resident Evil, where she's written as the more potent than the actual nemesis or tyrant or whatever they are. Wesker as well. It's just a reverse horror film, which is a bit weird. But yeah, no, I think she was fine in this.
Yeah, she was fine in this. I kind of like, oh yeah, she does do other films because I kind of forgot she does. Because like the last 15 years, she's done like Resident Evil films. I was like, oh yeah, she does do other things. Good on her.
And she didn't need to do much action in this as well. I don't think there was action at all. What did you think of what do you call it? Daniel Day Kim as the
the Cheetah Man thing.
Well, the werewolf, whatever he was, man. I was like, okay, so when he's like throughout this part, oh yeah, don't trust no Hellboy and nothing like that, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh well, the reveal is you're also a mutant or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And he's just like, okay, were you hating on him because you're hating on him, or are you hating on him because you're also one of them and you hate that you're one of them? You know,
I think he's hating on him because
from hell.
Just Hellboy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's reckless.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah. I like some of the cast in the like in the previous movie. John Hurt as the Hellboy's dad, right?
Yeah.
Adopted dad, not actual dad.
Yeah.
He'd be playing the devil, and that's not what I meant. I forgot his name. How did I forget his name?
Who?
Lovejoy. Ian McShane.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. I think but it was like one of I think it was more cast, but at the same time, it's just like he didn't get to do much either. I mean, he did some exposition.
But to be fair, he's Hellboy's dad. He's not the main character, so he doesn't really do anything.
True.
Really.
I think the problem with the Hellboy to 2019 is a lot of characters appear and then they die.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, what's the point?
Yeah, like the bit that kind of threw me off, and I'm still trying to figure this out. You know when he joined those people, I want to say like the Knights of the Old Republic, but they're not.
Oh yeah.
But you know what I mean, them guys.
Yeah.
And then they turned on him, and then they just get killed by those giant things.
Yeah, I find that's kind of funny. Oh yeah, Hellboy, come over here, because we gotta kill the witch, right? Right. So if you come here, we shall find the witch and we shall kill her. Yeah. And then he's like, yeah. And then they're like, backstab.
Yeah.
And you know what, Hellboy? I mean, you know, we could have done this mission. We could have done what we needed to do, except that what we're gonna do is betray you and kill you first, so she can't get to you. It's like,
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you kill her first and then turn on him?
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, like again, and then they get attacked by giants.
Yeah.
And then Hellboy. Then when they wake up and they're speaking all like, I'm in my head. I can't remember exactly if it's the case, but they're speaking all Cockney English.
Yeah.
But I know that the pig guy did.
Yeah, which kind of sometimes I found funny, but then sometimes found quite annoying.
Yeah. And and he then Hellboy gets in a CG. Well, he's fighting them, they're massive giants, and he's small, right?
Yeah.
But he's pretty decent with his big Hellboy arm.
His hand of doom. Yeah.
Yeah. Bloody and gory, but sometimes I think for exactly what reason, you know?
That was my other gripe with this whole film. Yeah.
Because like, oh, it's edgy, but it's not really.
No.
I know it's Hellboy, but at the same time, it's like the other two Hellboys, like 12A, right?
Yeah, 12A's, yeah.
Probably just because they're hell in the title and he looks like a devil sort of
Yeah.
thing. But you know, they weren't too overly violent or something like that.
Yeah, because like
Spicy violence is different.
yeah, and like it's gonna sound really weird. The swearing in it as well kind of took me out. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Evil. I'm like, oh, this could be.
You know what it is when you watch when you see the other two, you're like, there's not. Like you can get the grassiness of characters without having to go to that level.
Yeah.
And when it's there, it's when you see this one, it's like it's out of place because it's like, was it even necessary?
Yeah. Like same with a lot of the violence in this. Like you said earlier, like does this need to be here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing they're missing is nudity.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's just,
yeah. I didn't mind the girl who had the visions in it.
Yeah, she was okay.
Yeah, she had the ghost coming out of her and stuff like that. But she spoke proper like she was from East End London.
Yeah. And then this is gonna sound really bad. I didn't like. Sometimes I felt like, is it the accent or she can't act? One of the two. Like some of the times she said stuff, I was like near the, the end when they go to Siberia and they find Abe. Like there's a little corridor scene there just before. It sounds really weird. Her acting.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, is this your first ever?
Well, you know what? I don't even know if this girl's British or not.
Hmm.
But I know that Daniel Day Kim isn't, right?
No.
And he sometimes is a bit like, you know, when you like the man's a good actor, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes when you got the accent and you know they're not from that particular place, you kind of like it's like the airs of poshness, but not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like with it, you know what would be hilarious?
Mm-hmm.
Like his acts. If I didn't see him, like say he providing a voice of someone and he did the English accent, I wouldn't think nothing of it.
Yeah.
But because, like you say, because I've seen him in so many films and I know who he is.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, dude.
Yeah, he's just making him. He just sounds like he's upper class.
Yeah.
No, English.
Yeah.
Upper class American. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, oh, okay, this is.
I mean, some people do accents really well. And you can't read like Christian Bale.
Yeah.
When hardly ever does he actually get to use his Welsh accent. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you do hear it, it's thrown off. Like
yeah,
when
you're like that guy's an American pretending to be an Englishman.
It's like with what's his face as well. Oh.
Henry Cavill.
No, David Tennant. When you hear him speak Scottish, you're like, wait, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's how you sound? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Alright.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, just a quick thing. That girl we're talking about, Sasha Lane, who played Alice, she's from America.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, like you're saying, I didn't want to think too much of it because I was like, oh, okay. Fair enough. They look like they're in the council estates of England somewhere. So
yeah, someone in East London.
So you kind of buy a bit more. If you haven't ever seen them before in a film, you kind of buy a bit more. You don't listen out.
Yeah.
I have to say, sometimes these things escape me, right? But when I was watching Batwoman and Ruby Rose was there, and she's Australian.
Yeah.
And she's playing an American, right? And the first time you're watching, fine, right? And then when you rewatch some of the bits. The Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
Oh, when she's talking to Kevin Conroy, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you get a big smack of Aussie in your face.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, all right. Yeah.
Like a lot of this, I just don't understand. Like like Daniel Day Kim's character, did he need to be English?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Most of these characters are putting on English accents, like Mila Jovovich as well.
Yeah.
But I think hers is not too bad actually because I've
right.
you know, as in I don't know. It's like it didn't stand out to me so much.
No, same.
As instead of Daniel Day Kim's one, I don't know why though. It just was.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Okay, just research on the character now. Okay, Daniel Day Kim's character, Ben Demo, whatever his name is, yeah? He's meant to be Japanese American. So
Right.
why does he have an English accent?
Yeah. Unless he's Japanese American brought up in the UK, but it still make no sense.
Yeah.
Why just stick with the? Oh, by the way, did you know about the controversies way back in the day?
Yeah.
Way back in the day, you know, the casting controversy.
Yeah.
They were gonna have Ed Shrieken.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it? Yeah.
Francis from Deadpool. Yeah.
Yep. And the transporter refueled.
Yeah.
That
was fun.
I think he's actually a decent action guy.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, he's English, and they were gonna have him, and then obviously you read the name of the character and goes, this guy ain't white.
Yeah. This doesn't sound right.
Yeah, not even. I always pretend half white because we know from King of Fighters, right?
Oh,
the white genes are so dominant.
Yeah.
From anywhere, white genes are so dominant that
it just wipes out any hint of other race inside them. Yeah.
apparently.
Gosh, that's still an abomination to me. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Daniel Taken is Korean.
Yeah.
But you know,
it's close.
I don't. Why. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Not to say they have to cast a Japanese guy for whatever, right? But it's just like fair enough. Yeah. I don't know if you would say a Japanese person would say that this guy is Japanese. But as a Chinese person looking at him, I think, okay, he looks like he could be from a certain section of Asia. And you'd be fine. Yeah.
Which is fine. Yeah. It's like a lot of like black actors, or whatever. Like, say you can get a Nigerian person to play someone from like somewhere in the Caribbean. It's close.
Well, let me ask you this, right?
Yeah.
Well, all those people playing the African people in Black Panther.
Yeah.
How many of them were actually African? You reckon?
I'll probably say like at least 70% of them probably were.
Oh, you reckon?
Like, well, not African, but like have proper African descent in them. Yeah, I'd probably say about 70% of them.
Okay. All right, fair enough. I mean, why would you? Yeah, because you're talking about all the white people that don't have any African descent in them, right?
No, I'm talking about like, for example, I don't think like I know. The girl played like Black Panther's love interest.
Yeah.
I know she's actually African because she's got African surname and stuff like that. But
okay. Yeah.
Like Chadwick Boseman, I doubt he's actually African. He might be like from Jamaica or something. So you know what I mean? It's close enough. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I know we're going about accents, but I think as well. Sometimes I was like watching Black Panther, and I was like, I'm not sure all of these African accents are from the same continent of where Wakanda. Like Wakanda, I don't know how big it is, right?
Yeah, they never.
But I think somebody. Yeah. I don't think that they don't have a consistent accent for it. It's like when Gal Gadot's accent is Israeli, right? But she can be Mediterranean, Greek, whatever. And then all the other actresses in the Amazon had to adapt to her accent.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it was from the right part of the world, anyways. So.
Yeah. So you can kind of get around things like that.
Yeah. Hellboy, by the way. I like in Hellboy 2 where they had the market, the underground market area.
Yeah, that was
where you
cool.
had all the fantasy characters ish.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah,
they kind of like doubled down on the fantasy stuff in that film.
The bit with the little baby that was attached to the guy, right?
Yeah.
Not the guy, the kind of whatever it was, right?
That Gollum thing, yeah.
Yeah, and then Hellboy's like, "Oh, I was a cute baby or whatever," and then he said, "No, I'm not a baby, I'm a tumor." I'm like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
First of all, I was like, "Oh, is it Quarto from Total Recall?"
Yeah, if I say that, I was like, "Oh, that's hilarious." It's a tumor. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, "Oh, that's actually kind of neat because basically it's grown itself into the tumor, is sentient tumor that's grown. It's nasty.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of neat because I want to say it makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, well, it's a fantasy world; it can do whatever it wants, right?
Yeah. Like the Tooth Fairies and that stuff is awesome. Yeah.
So shame we never got a sequel to as in Hellboy 3 because I would have been interested to see what Liz and Hellboy's twins.
Kids? Yeah.
would have looked like? Because that'd have been something. Like, would they just look human with red skin?
Probably. And be fire starters as well, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Even more hell, right?
Yeah.
I mean, could you? Oh, I was gonna say, now you have a bad combination of parents because you look like you look inhuman, and then you cause fire, so people can say demons straight up.
Yeah. Demons!
What do you think of Liz's? She had blue fire as well.
Yeah, I like that. I thought it was cool.
Red fire. I mean, not red fire, yellow fire and blue fire.
Yeah, I like that. Well, that's different. So
what did you think of the fire special effects? Because I've like in the first one, they kind of looked all right, but I think they got more improved on the second one. But I don't necessarily know if that was budget.
I think it was budget, because like.
Or technology has improved since. That's the other thing.
Could be with both, I'm honest.
Yeah.
Because the 4-year gap between both of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think budget. I think technology by that time probably got better. And
I did. So the lobster guy you're talking about, that's the guy with the knives, yeah? Is that the clockwork guy?
No. He's the guy in the third Hellboy film.
Oh, right.
He's like the Nazi hunter, and he's called Lobster Johnson, and he.
Oh yeah. I remember now. Well, like as in, why was he called the lobster? Whatever.
They never. I thought I was gonna explain it, but like he'll take off his glove and he has like a claw hand, but no.
Yeah. I think that was a reason, but I just can't remember offhand.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like the clockwork guy from number 1, which had the blades.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah.
And he bled sand. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like
so
some really awkward corpse looking thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think he's like about 1,000 years, not 1,000 years old, but he's like 100 years old or something. That's why he bleeds sand.
I did also like when Dr. Klaus was fighting Hellboy. Like Hellboy, well, not really fighting, but Hellboy's they're having a dispute, and then he punches the Klaus in the helmet.
Yeah.
Breaks, and then Klaus just kind of deflates the costume, but then you see the gas cloud go as well, and then your Hellboy's looking at him going, "Oh no, what have I done?" And then he's like, "Oh shucks," and then the lockers start opening up and start smacking him back and forth.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was quite fun. And then Klaus walks off in his after he's like knocked down Hellboy and said, that's because your temper gets the better of you too much, like we just in these situations just now. And then he strolls off with his gas clouds. Looking all like wavy armed.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
That's weird.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, look, both I like the villain in the first film as well.
Yeah, Rasputin himself.
Yeah, I liked him, and the Sam. What was it that lizard thing called to kill it? Well, every time you kill it, 2 more came about.
Yeah. I want to call it Hydra, but it's not called Hydra.
No, I should know that part.
Yeah. That was an entertaining thing.
Yeah.
Hellboy had used them green bullet. So when he was tracking it the first time, he shot with the tracker bullet.
Yeah.
That's quite neat.
And how he killed the first one, where he electrocuted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they basically have
that. That's called Sam Moore. Yeah. Okay.
And they have that fight in the train station.
Yeah, and he saves the kittens because he loves kittens.
Yeah.
Which they dropped in the third film. I was like, that's annoying. Yeah.
No, they had a whole bunch of cats, right?
Well, in the third one.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, I was thinking of the second film. Yeah.
The second one, yeah, they still have that about. The third one just dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say a lot about the third one except look.
It tries. I give it that.
But it's like at a certain point, it didn't know where it was going.
Yeah.
It seemed like let's just get to the next action beat, and then it's like when a Jackie Chan makes a movie and he's like, I want to have a fight here and here and here, right?
Yeah, you make up wrestling between that.
Yeah, exactly. But this one didn't even do that. It's just like, okay, we're gonna go to these locations and film this, right? And Robbie gonna stitch it all together in post production, and then they still couldn't do that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of exposition at the beginning, like, the baby. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the baby from hell was you.
Yeah. Like, really? Never would have guessed that. My name is Hellboy, so I would never have guessed that. If you call me Dave or something, and then you told me, oh, okay, I'm from hell. I'm not. Yeah, you're the Hellboy. You're from hell.
Yeah.
That's not shocking, dude. All right, sure.
To be fair though, the third one, it looks visually, it looked nice, right?
Yeah.
It looked like an action movie. It looked like it had budget, but nothing tied it together.
No.
Yeah, I think that was the main problem with that.
And I'm kind of confused. Like, is he the son of Merlin? Not Merlin, sorry, of King Arthur or something like that.
I don't. You know what? Like you say, yeah. You know when you're like, okay, this is kind of not really going anywhere. You kind of not check out, but you kind of try to watch it and you're like, but then you stop concentrating on it.
Yeah.
Because too many things are happening.
Yeah.
That's me too. Because Merlin is involved in it, and Excalibur as well, and it's just like, what?
Yeah, and they're saying this is where I'm confused. Like, oh, only someone from Arthur's bloodline can touch the sword.
Yeah. So
like,
of take
wait,
the
what?
sword and change your destiny or some wackiness like that.
I was like,
Yeah.
wait, what? Okay. So
Yeah.
you're Arthur's son somehow?
But not.
Yeah.
Kind of? I don't know.
Because then this another bit they said something about his mum being human. He goes, yeah, and so are you. Well, partly. I was like, but then, wait, what? That was my reply.
I think in this version it's different from. Look, unless the history of Hellboy is that he's always been like the son of Arthur, who was taken to hell by the devil to come back and teleported back out by a pagan ritual. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
really.
Yeah, it just gets a bit too messy. It's like, okay, straight up, it came from hell. Like he got, like in the first movie, Rasputin tried to call him forth to help the Nazis, whatever. Yeah, and then, but you know, the Allies took him instead, and that was that. And then we move on, right?
Yeah. But no.
But they try to make it. I don't know if that's an original thing, by the way, as well.
Yeah,
but I think they tried to complicate this story. Tries to the whole thing is just too complicated for its own good, and it didn't need to be none of that.
No, like the original two was just like even the first one. It's kind of like he came through a portal and I raised him. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I can buy that. You know what I mean? Like, the others is like, I'm confused by all of this.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, I know we seem like we're slating, right? But I don't think there's as many. I mean, there's a nice little action sequence at the end where they do the raid on the.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, where they decided, right? They're like, all right, well, don't make him contented wealth. In fact, we're going to save our budget for the last 20 minutes of the film, right?
Yeah.
Where he starts it's like. Oh yeah, a Hellboy might get beat up. I'm going to try and help him, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take ages for my transformation into the werewolf or whatever cheetah thing, like you're saying.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm only going to be like knocked to the side, so they have to use up budget, and then turn back into a human. All right.
Okay.
And then when they raid the other place at the end, he does kind of not really turn into werewolf because he's like at the top of the. I mean, so Hellboy smacks him a couple of times to get him to turn into a werewolf, and then he kind of just jumps up and across the top beams of whatever it is.
Yeah, you seem to do like little weird. I say weird, like attacks and stuff, like jumping back to the background and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I guess. And then he turns back. Like,
yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Exactly. It's like, all right. I mean, sure, you have budget, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, oh, I see what they're doing because they're heading for a sequel bait, but
yeah.
But I would have liked to see a sequel because, like, to be fair, people say this film's like terrible, but it's not. I've seen a lot worse comic book movies, if I'm honest, than this.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, there are worse out there, right?
Yeah.
But I look, they kind of. I mean, okay. So they just needed to tone down stuff and just make it a bit more straightforward.
Yeah.
And then you'll have, like, I suppose there's some editing needs to be done to cut out the things that are flashy but not relevant to the story.
Yeah. Because like I would say it's a better film than Green Lantern, but that's
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, no, that's a lie because I've actually come around to Green Lantern. But like, it's better than Spirit. If I'm honest, Spirit's terrible.
No, Spirit looks good.
Yeah, but
To be fair, yes, you're probably right. The spirit looks good, but it's just everyone in it was just not taking the film seriously.
No.
But then again, probably because Frank Miller was directing, and at this point he got. I don't even know how seriously he takes himself.
Yeah.
Or if he actually trying to take himself seriously, and everything's just coming out really.
Yeah.
Over the top because that's what he thinks cool is.
Yeah, it's like, did you ever read those recent? I say in the last like 10 years. What's his name? Oh, is it Denny O'Neil?
Yep.
When he did those Batman comics.
Oh no, you mean Neil Adams.
Neil Adams, yeah.
Neil Adams gone. Yeah. That's that Batman storyline. Whatever, I can't remember what he was doing. All I know is that it was crazy.
Yeah. And it's
Well,
like, okay.
Someone was on something, definitely.
And it's like, okay, he probably thinks it's cool because he's like in his 70s or whatever, and that's what he still thinks is cool. But it's no.
Yeah. I took it as Batman is having a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
So all the story here is about that breakdown, which then makes everything wacky in there make sense.
Yeah.
But that might not be the case.
It's probably not. Like, he probably thought that was the most serious things been written, but you're reading like in the 2000s/2010s. This is weird. This is crazy.
Exactly.
And that's what Spirit is.
Yeah. But yeah, Hellboy. I don't. Yeah. Okay. Hellboy. The makeup actually is pretty good. Like, I don't know how much of it's a fake torso or whatever, right? And they do the topless Hellboy a good couple of times, right? I know you can just color the face and the arms, right? And that's makeup for the day, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes they do the entire torso, so you're like, all right, fair enough. That's going to take a while, but okay,
Yeah.
And the thing with Torms, where I liked in Hellboy 2, where you see him using the sander to file them down.
Yeah.
Yeah. How often? First of all, when it was a baby, right?
Yeah.
Did he have the horns? Yeah, he had the horns, right?
I think so.
So you got to file them down from the top to the bottom, right? Are they bone? Are they like bone extrusions, or what are they? I mean, do they have nerve endings or whatever? How did not? I mean,
probably not. I guess.
Yeah.
Because I think they probably use a saw to cut off a bit of it and then they sand the rest down to make it smooth. I'm guessing.
Maybe.
Because I did like that in the 2019 version as well. You see him actually like with a file doing it. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And his reasoning for doing it because he wants to look more human. I was like, I get it. Yeah, you're a self-conscious teenager. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, because he's meant to age particularly slow, right?
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Someone would do that.
I did like. I mean, like in the second Hellboy, when you look at the team of Kraus, Abe Sapien, the Hellboy, and Liz, right?
Yeah.
Liz Sherman. They all look like a ragbag group of individuals.
Yeah.
But they stand out, as a fish man, a gas man, a demon, and then you got the leather girl, right?
Yeah.
But still, she kind of fits in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I think they tried to make this a similar team in the Hellboy 2019, but when you got a guy who looks like a demon, right? A Red Devil demon, right? Then you got an Asian, you got a Japanese American, right? And you got a black girl.
Yeah.
But the only one that stands out here is the guy who's red. That's because he's red.
Yeah. If the cheetah guy was more of a cheetah, then it make more sense. He's wear cheetah form. Then it kind of sticks out.
Yeah.
But
watching these again, right? King Balor was in number 2, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute. So I was like, okay, where do I know Balor from? Oh, I Spin Balor, right?
Yeah, Demon King Balor.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, where you retroactively recognize something that's been. I mean, I know the Demon King Balor has been around for ages, right?
Yeah.
But it's just at the same time, it's like, oh, okay. Now I connect this to this. Okay.
I like when stuff like that happens. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because I hadn't seen it for so long, and then I was like, you know what? It'd be jokes though if Finn Balor did just pop out of nowhere with his demon makeup, right?
Yeah. Like, hello there.
yeah.
I'm Finn Balor. Yeah.
Yeah, just a diving double stomp for no reason. Yeah.
Yeah. Hellboy's like, that doesn't hurt me. You moron.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. What? So, what stuff did you like? Like, Hellboy 2 had good costumes.
Yeah.
And they're actually quite comics accurate, but tweaked enough.
Yeah. Be more realistic. Yeah.
Well, to be more fit for the world.
Yeah.
But not too far differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
What bits do you like? Not particularly about this, right? Just be more like overall, because he's written like the costume of Hellboy is, he's got that face. He's got the file down horns and the trench coat. That's basically the costume. You know what I mean?
I liked in both versions he's right hand of doom. I like how that looked. The character designs I liked in them.
Yeah.
I overall liked the worlds in the first two films.
Yeah.
Like the world building, I thought
They
was pretty good.
Even though you didn't see a lot of it, it seems expansive. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's stuff going on in the bits that we did not like in the first one, right? There's not so much of that stuff, but in the second one, there's a lot more. The thing is, though, it never seemed out of place that we didn't see in the first one. It just seemed like a bit more hidden.
Yeah.
Until like they have to go to these particular places, then you see a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
But I think the 2019 one, they were more like they wanted to. They got more money to try and do this, but then it's like you're trying to do too much.
They got more money, but then I think they tried to be. They didn't want to copy sort of like what Marvel and DC were doing. So you know what? Let's go more gritty and realistic.
Yeah.
But not at the same time.
Well, it's weird because how can you say, "Oh, I'm going to be gritty and realistic" when you got the demon from hell? That's your main character.
Yeah, and
the demon baby from hell.
Giant things walking through London, killing people.
Yeah. And it was kind of funny how some of the editing was where Mila Jovovich came. Like, okay, so they had the special services or whatever it was that I had to go to.
Yeah.
In the UK, and the lady who I want to call it a fish and chip shop, but I can't remember what it was. Right?
Yeah, it was fish and chip shop.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, you got some ID?" And then Hellboy's looking at her like, "Come on, man, really?" Right? Just because it's a VRPD cover place.
Yeah.
And then when Ms. Jovovich goes there, and she's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, mate, love, I'm gonna ask you for ID."
Oh yeah, and
then Ms. Jovovich is like, "Come on, whatever, right?" I mean, like, hey, I'm gonna murder you, so whatever about ID. And then the lady, like when it switches back to the lady, she's got like the machine gun or whatever.
Yeah, an SMG, and just like shit, load
them
off.
It's like, hold on a minute, you just okay, right? You know?
Yeah, made no sense, but it was quite funny.
Yeah. It was funny because of the way it was cut. It was like this lady, you didn't even like, you know how sometimes they reach underneath, you have to insert a hand shot of them grabbing something. She just appeared with it, like it fabricated out of nowhere.
Yeah, because I remember seeing that bit in the trailer.
Yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, Hellboy's got a trailer, and then I watched the film.
Yeah. Did you ever watch? Okay, so there were some TV spots for Hellboy 2 that I remember. Oh, Hellboy 1. Oh, wait. It's one of the TV spots for Hellboy. You ever watch Chuck?
No.
I think you should. It's quite enjoyable.
Yeah, I watch it. People keep saying, why haven't I watched it? I'm like, I really don't know.
So Hellboy's playing video games.
Yeah.
With Chuck, right?
Yeah.
And then they do something and they go to high five, right? Except that Hellboy high fives with the right hand of doom and sends Chuck flying. But the thing is, the physics of it don't make sense though, because you know if you high five the right hand of doom, your arm will go flying, right?
Yeah.
Somehow he got wrenched out of the chair.
Oh wow, okay.
I did a flip into the bookshelf, I think, or whatever it is. It's like, right, but that's not. I mean, Yeah, if he gave you a fist bump on the shoulder, fair enough, right?
Yeah.
But whatever, we're gonna go with the wacky physics of whatever it was,
Yeah.
however it was.
Science, you know.
I mean, yeah, it has no place here.
Nope.
What do you have you read a lot of Hellboy comics?
You know what? I haven't read any Hellboy comics at all.
Right. So when you go into these movies, you're going you're going by what the movie is showing you as per the characters. At least that's what's consistent, right?
Yeah.
Wait, same here. Didn't read too much. I've read some Hellboy, but not really that much. So if I have any gripes of it, it's more gripes of how the movie is portraying the characters rather than are they comics accurate.
Yeah. Because realistically, if you want a comic accurate, I'm pretty sure Hellboy doesn't have normal feet, doesn't he?
Does he?
I think he has like hind legs, if I remember correct.
What? Who feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. Don't bank me on that. Could be wrong. And he's meant to be like kind of chubby in the books, but
what, beefy chubby or like powerlifter chubby?
Well, it depends who's drawing it. He's like kind of like chubby, but
okay,
I don't know. Depends.
Who do you think was the better Hellboy? Would you say that between them two Hellboys, David Harbour and Ron Perlman, they were similar-ish?
I think similar-ish for the films that were in.
Yeah. I did like cranky Royal, like, okay, so Ron Perlman was cranky, yeah, but kind of like not patiently cranky, yeah, but not trying to be too tough guy cranky, just like you know, I gotta deal with these random things because I'm the guy that's there to deal with them. All right, let's go and do stuff.
Yeah.
But David Harbour, I think, was more like way more crankier.
Yeah.
More fed up.
Yeah.
I don't like.
He was.
Yeah.
But it kind of fits.
Yeah.
That film, innit? Yeah.
Who? Yeah, because his, like I said, was trying to be more gritty.
Yeah.
Who do you think was the more charismatic Hellboy?
I don't know. I'll probably say it's equal, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If these two Hellboys were to fight because power levels, right? Who would you say? Who do you reckon they would win? Like
the 2019 version would.
Just because he got to show off more stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say he probably would win. Because the Ron Perlman one, he didn't really fight anything too supernaturally or strong, really, did he?
Yeah, you're right there. I mean, he did fight the prince.
Yeah, but he was like a ninja sort of dude.
So yeah. That's what I was gonna say. He was doing backflips when it was unnecessary, right?
Yeah. So you can't really gauge like what he could do.
Okay. The prince was fighting like a Prince Arthur, right? Kind of fighting like a ninja, but not at the same time because he's like, first of all, pasty white skin with super white blonde hair, right?
Yep.
And then he's got gold and whatever is like the crown on his head with the whatever prince garments that he's wearing.
Yeah.
So he's doing unnecessary like parkour / capoeira flips.
Yeah.
He does a forward flip and then he does a back flip and then to dodge the punches. I'm like, all right, when you're gonna tire yourself out, right? You're gonna gash yourself.
Yeah, like dude,
yeah. A full roll, backward roll, cartwheel, whatever, right?
You're doing like 4 moves to hit 1. What's the point? Sort of thing, like, dude, I don't get this. Even if you have like unlimited like stamina and stuff, but this is pointless.
Yeah. If you're like Android 18 or 17,
Yeah, it's like, but no, dude.
All he has to do is grab you once, right? And just don't let go.
That's what happened, but no, he just kept on going.
But I would you say there's any standout villains in Hellboy 2019?
Not really, no. Actually, I'll say that pig thing. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
But it was his accent, right?
Yeah, that's why he stood out. He got quite annoying at points. Yeah.
The CG was pretty decent, right? But I think he just stood out so much more as a character because of the way he was speaking.
Yeah.
Rather than anything else.
He just felt like he tried too hard. Yeah, it kind of annoyed me. I want Rasputin as a villain. I don't like.
I want to say I remember him too much, right? But
Yeah.
like I said, we do remember the prince because of the things that he didn't need to do that he did anyways, right?
Yeah.
And the neat thing of how he died at the end was when the prince is the Joker, right? The prince is the Joker. First of all, he got to beat Hellboy, right? But secondly, when he coming for the rematch, so the prince in the first fight stabs Hellboy in the heart with his blade that regenerates, right?
Yeah.
So then they make a deal with a random shot. They go to an island. This random imp-looking thing. It just happens to catch up with him. And I don't question it because it's just like, you know what? I suppose. I mean,
Yeah, it's their world.
yeah. And then he takes them to the like some I don't know, some, what are they? What would you say they are? Mystics?
Yeah.
Who are basically saying that Liz has got to make a deal with them, and they will take the blade out of Hellboy.
Yeah.
And she'll bring, and what will happen is they'll bring Doom to whatever, right? Doom to watch. No, don't care, just save him, right? Fair enough, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Then so Abe sees this and he's like, yep. So she would like sacrifice everything to be with Hellboy.
Yeah.
Then love. Now he loves the princess, and he's got the thing that the prince wants. And he's like, all right, I shall also. And the prince like, give it to me, Abe. And he's like, I shall do that because I care about the princess so much that I shall give it to you. And then Hellboy's like, Hellboy and Liz are like, what are you doing, Abe? And he goes, well, you kind of did it for him, so I should also do it for her because that's how much I love her, right? And the prince says, okay, I'll take your thing, Abe, and now we're gonna murder you. And he's like, you lied to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you expect?
He's a bad guy, dude. You know.
Yeah.
It's not your first day on the job. You should know these things. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But how she so when Hellboy defeated the prince, and he's like, well, I'm gonna let you live. Prince like just being shady, pulls out a knife and he's gonna go and stab Hellboy. And then the princess, and then you see him bleeding, right? The prince bleeding, and then you go to the princess, and she stabbed herself.
Yeah.
And she killed herself to kill him.
Yeah.
And yeah,
that's quite sad.
Mm-hmm. I know it was actually quite a bit of a funny part before that as well, where Abe is listening to something, right? Hellboy's hearing it, and he goes to bust into Abe's room, in the library, right?
Yeah.
And then the music's like classical music, like classical operatic music.
Yeah.
And Hellboy's like, no, that's not what you were playing a minute ago. No, you can't. You're trying to trick me, but you can talk as much rubbish as you want, right?
Yeah.
But this is not what you were listening to a moment ago. And then then Abe switches to the love songs he was listening.
Yeah.
To the poppy love songs, and he's like, yeah. And then that's when they get drunk, right?
Yeah.
Which I found kind of funny. Yeah, and Hellboy's like, oh, Liz is upset with me for some reason. I don't know what it is. And then for some reason they get drunk, and Liz is sleeping, right?
Yeah.
And they just kind of
burst into the room, innit?
Yeah, but kind of quietly shh, and just drink around her. And he's like, oh, like Hellboy's like stroking her head and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, Abe, I don't know why she's so mad at me and blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, these guys are jokers.
Yeah. Oh, you silly boys.
And then when they said that the first time he fights the prince, and he just basically stumbles into the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's more memorable bits in number 2.
Yeah.
That kind of like adds to the characters, I think.
Yeah. That's why, like you said earlier, I was quite sad that there wasn't a third one. Because they built up a lot. Because even in the first one, they kind of build to a third film. When they show him being the true ruler of the earth, when he's got the fire crown, he's sitting on the throne. I was like, that's pretty good.
That they didn't have the guy from number 1 come back again.
Mm.
I
found out the reason why that happened.
Social conflicts, right?
None of them that, because in the first one, he's sort of the audience, because he's going into a world he doesn't understand, and he's basically us learning about it.
Okay.
So it wouldn't make sense for him to be in the second one. I was like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Because you kind of built the world. It makes.
All right. Yeah. But I would. Oh yeah, as well. And he was supposed to be the quote unquote love rival, but not really the guy who was just be like on the other side of Liz.
Yeah.
it'd have been fun to poke some more of that just for the jokes of it, yeah. But then you're repeating the same storylines, and
Yeah.
she's pregnant with Hellboy's kid, so that kind of really can't go in that direction.
Yeah.
As funny as it would have been, like, you know, just be like, just troll Hellboy. This ordinary thing, just trolling the Hellboy
Yeah.
by coming onto his girl for no reason.
Because like all these years, I thought the same. When recently I found out, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. What happened?
Yeah.
Kind of redundant. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, do you reckon of all these films, all three films? I recommend watching number 2.
Yeah. Same.
You could probably jump into number 2 without having to watch number 1.
Yeah. But I'd say, yeah. To be fair, you don't really need to watch number 1. It's a good film, but yeah, you don't really need to watch it if I'm honest.
Yeah. But I think we're going to be in agreement and say that the reboot can be missed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is quite sad.
Yeah.
I had high hopes for it. Actually, I don't have no hopes because I have no hopes for anything.
I tell you what's also funny is, like, so Liz in number 1, she was in the mental hospital, wherever she was.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of skated right past that in number 2.
Yeah.
None of that ever none of that ever happened, but just more like, yeah. I mean, now I don't need to go there, right? Right?
Yeah, I kind of control my powers. I don't need to go there anymore. Yeah, sure. All right, cool.
Yeah. Exactly.
Weird little. It's just so weird. She's
So they spent a lot of time, like, when they had the Rasputin, like, so when they were they had that guy who's the audience surrogate trying to, I don't want to say come onto this, but introduce the characters, like, you know, the team, put the team together, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then none of it I don't want to say none of it necessarily was put into number 2, but they'd just be like, yep, where the story is moving in this direction, and we don't need to repeat ourselves.
No.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but I think number 3. Do you reckon they just deliberately tried to be a bit more different? Like, well, we're not, like, there's the only people that it sounds like number 3 was not number 3. 3 were basically saying, okay, it's a Hellboy film, so we've got to have Hellboy in it, right? But we don't have to have the other regular cast members in it that you know, because this is a different Hellboy.
I'm guessing. It's just me just guessing now. My arse. I don't know if I'm much right. Like, if they got the sequel and stuff, they would have gradually brought the other people into it, I reckon.
Yeah, because they had Abe Sapien at the end.
Yeah. And then at the end, there's another post-credit. There's 2 post-credit scenes, actually.
Yep.
There's one where he meets the lobster when he's at his dad's grave. And then he goes, stop moping and follow him. Stop moping. Your dad wouldn't want that. We've got a job to do. And like, okay, that's leading to something. And there's one at the end where that which thing that he fights earlier, where she does a weird crab thing.
Yeah,
he tried to fight her. She's saying Hellboy betrayed me, and we need to get him. And when you kill him, give me your eyes. And some man replies, goes, I will. So I'm guessing that's someone that we're meant to know and would have been exposed in the second one. But
yeah. Well, do you reckon it's going to get a sequel?
Nah.
All right. Fair enough. I mean, look, I don't think it's going to get a sequel either, but yeah. Here's the thing, right? It wasn't enough of a train wreck for people to be entertained watching it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes bad films do get sequels because a lot of people come to watch the like Ghost Rider, right?
Yeah.
No. Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance was the wacky one, right? But I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel to that. Ghost Rider, the first one. I wouldn't have. I don't think that was. Yeah.
That wasn't great, but that's another film is a product of its time. It's like every other film of that year that came out, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Any of those action films that came around that time, basically, is that. 2007. Oh wow, came out before Ghost. Okay.
Yeah.
Came out before Iron Man. That makes sense. But yeah. Because I reckon if it made its money back, like box office wise, you would have got a sequel. Even if it was terrible, it would have got a sequel.
Yeah.
But because it was 50 million to make and only made 55 million. Yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah, but I can see how it didn't make it. It's critical to say but I can see why it didn't. It's like when you watch the Fantastic Four film, and you're like, yeah, I can see exactly why this film did not make its money back. Yeah.
But like both of these, like that and Fantastic Four, like there's a good film in there somewhere. It just got buried in the mess of everything.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good film somewhere, but it's not this film. Definite.
No. Yeah. It could have took a bit more tweaking, but nil point. Never happened.
Nil point.
Yeah, nil point. Never happened.
Fair enough. Do you reckon they're going to reboot it?
Yeah, I say give it about 5 years, I'll reboot it.
You reckon? There's enough desire to see Hellboy films out there that people would want to, like, do you want to see another?
I don't know. I reckon just because they're trying to make every comic into a film nowadays.
Yeah.
And Hellboy's quite known.
Yeah.
So they'll probably give it another try. Yeah, I reckon they'll give it another try. Somehow.
I mean, I mean, hey, yeah. Would you? So you're saying Hellboy 2019 is the Batman and Robin of this series? When they're just going to bury it and be like, we'll come back in about 10 years' time.
Yeah, I reckon it is. But I'll say give it less than 10 years, if I'm honest.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah.
Okay, money, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see. Do you have high hopes for them making Hellboy again?
Yeah. What they should just really do is just continue from the Ron Perlman ones. Even if you can't use Ron Perlman, just continue that story.
Oh, you mean like they pretend those stories happened, right? But don't directly reference them, if you know what I mean. Just continue from it.
Yeah.
Just like Superman Returns, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it happened.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, we can reference it, but yeah. But we'll just continue on with our own story, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Just pick up where it sort of left off.
Yeah.
But carrying your own story, sort of thing. So
well, it does help them. It does help them a bit because the law's ingrained.
Yeah.
And then you can just get on with your story.
Yeah. Because how the original two ended is you could go from there, really. So yeah, just do that. Don't really build much. You know. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense if they do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Can't say much about that. Like, they I want to say they tried, but at the same time, they just kind of like, yeah.
Like, I still don't understand why they didn't make a third one, but of the originals, but.
Yeah. They would have been better off doing that, right?
Yeah, because they made its budget back and more, so I don't see why you wouldn't. Unless it's the Ron Perlman thing, he kind of aged out. Well, I don't know. Well,
it's makeup, so I don't want to say yes or no, but yeah, makeup helps a lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be. I mean, his age shouldn't really matter because he's wearing horns and he's wearing makeup. His Sting looks still like Sting.
Yeah, but Sting.
And he's 60 plus.
But he's very limited in what he can do.
No. But what I'm saying is, even then, I'm just saying with the magic of like the Sting.
Yeah, makeup, I get that.
He looks like he hasn't aged, even though he has aged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, because he is 72 years old right now. So.
Who? Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
Oh goddamn, he is old. I didn't realize. Oh my goodness.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's like he was 50 when he was Hellboy.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah. Someone's like, maybe that's why you maybe don't want to touch his whole
thing.
Yeah.
I did not think Ron Perlman was that old, but then again, Ron Perlman somehow managed to look like the same age since I saw him in Blade 2. No.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I think being bold helps.
Yeah, it does. It obviously does. Yeah.
Okay, so you and I recommend. Oh no, so we'd say watch Hellboy 2: The Golden Army.
Yep.
Would you say watch 1 as well? One bit less action and a little bit more drama.
Yeah, I'd say watch it so you can sort of get the world building stuff.
Yeah. And would you say skip 2019?
Yeah.
For real. Okay. I should probably. You know what? I do agree with that assessment. I don't think it's Yeah, well, like most people,
Yeah.
skip it, of course.
Just skip it.
Not saying it's bad, but just be like, it's a bit puzzling as a film to watch, not because it's like Inception or anything like that, right?
No.
Just be like, it's very, very choppy.
Yeah.
It's the
You're
best
not
bit.
missing much
Indeed.
at all.
Yeah.
Sounds bad.
Yeah, you might watch it and then find yourself wondering why you did watch it.
Yeah. It's
As we were doing, probably as we were watching it, like,
yeah.
what is the story meant to be going on here?
And the worst thing is, it's like 2 hours long as well.
Well, the thing is, the story itself was straightforward because it's just about the witch trying to put her body parts, find her body parts and put it back together, right?
Yeah.
But then what's this other stuff that is in there? You know?
There isn't any.
Yeah.
Which sounds bad. But yeah, it's what it is. I probably won't watch it again if I'm honest.
All right. So is that us signing off? Yep.
Yeah, that's us signing off. Talk about the Hellboy franchise and how it was okay.
Yeah, how it was. Yeah, I mean, yes, I think if you combine them all together, they just be the whole lot of them get an average of okay. Yeah.
Like if we're just gonna exclude 1 and 2, I'll say these films are great, but
yeah,
the third one brings it down.
yeah,
which is quite sad, but it is what it is. Yeah, so that's us signing off. I have been the person who can resurrect ghosts through my intestines, Kyle Charles, and
I'm the Cockney Pigman, CY Chong.
And thank you for listening to us talk about the Hellboy movie franchise. Was you a fan of the Hellboy films? Did you enjoy them? Have you seen the 2019 version? Did you watch it on a plane like I kind of did? Or did you actually go out your way and watch it?
Yeah,
if you did, I'm sorry.
Right?
I'm very sorry for that. Let us know by getting in touch with us on Instagram or on Twitter or even in the YouTube comment section down below. And I'd like to thank you all for taking a trip with us around Multiverse. Bye.
Bye.
Gute Nacht, Agent Hellboy. Look, Agent, I know you don't like me, but I could take away your badge.
Never had one. Kept asking, though.
You will learn to obey me, follow protocol, and stay focused at all times.
That word, focused? Yeah, with your accent. I wouldn't use it that much.
I knew Professor Broom, young man.
You didn't know Professor Broom?
Yes, I did.
Shut
After
up.
my
Shut
accident, he designed this containment suit. A wonderful man. And even then, he was worried about your future.
Stop it! Right now.
Or what? Are you threatening me? Because I think I can take you.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
I couldn't hear you from all the way over there.
I can take you because you have one fatal flaw.
Oh, I want to hear it.
No, you don't. You can't take criticism.
Try me.
Can't take it.
What's my flaw?
Your temper. It gets the best of you. Makes you weak. Makes you vulnerable.
Oh, crap. Johan. Johan. Hey, Johan. Come on, pal. Hang in there, will you? Johan? Johan! Damn. Ow.
your temper. It makes you sloppy. Try to control it, Agent Hellboy, before it controls you. Eine kleine Krankenschwester zum Stadt mit mir gehen. Und wir haben...
Cool asshole.